Okay, hey guys, so it is currently 10:37 p.m. and is this focusing? I'm sorry, I'm terrible at focusing things, but I really want to try the fox eye trend. I've been literally seeing it everywhere and I thought I'd give it a go. Am I gonna do my whole face? Probably, because if it actually turns out well, I'm gonna take a bunch of photos, but so I'm gonna give that a go. From my last video you saw my foundation, like my whole base routine, so I'm just gonna do that quickly, and then I will zoom you guys in when I'm ready for the eye area. Okay, so I just put my foundation on. Before I do my brows, I have to do a fox eye brow trend, so I'm gonna try to lift my eyebrows like this somehow with concealer covering them, or I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out, but you guys are about to see me attempt it, so here I go. Okay, so for this portion of the video I thought I'd do a voiceover since you're really only seeing what I'm doing and I didn't feel like talking. But all I'm doing here is filling in my eyebrows, but not the way I usually would. So rather than moving downwards and like creating an arch to my brow, I'm straightening it out a little bit more, but like there's still like a soft arch, and I'm headed more towards the top of my ears so that we get a lifted look. Here I am taking my concealer on a flat brush and just concealing my brows and trying to conceal up my eyebrow hairs. As you can see here at the end of the clip, I don't really like the way it looks with just concealer. Like, it did conceal my hairs, but since my hairs aren't flat on my face, there's still that shadow. So then in attempts to flatten my hairs and have them on my like skin, like glued down, I literally took a stick of glue on a flat brush, a different flat brush than the concealer brush, and tried to glue them down. Then I just took some translucent powder and powdered down the glue to set it in place. Then I took more glue and tried to flatten it even more. And then I just repeated that process of glue and translucent powder over and over again until I was somewhat happy with the result. After I finished putting down the glue and translucent powder, I took my concealer once again and tried to conceal the hairs. Hi, how y'all doing? Editing Christina here. So I am currently editing the video and I just wanted to say, if you don't want to waste your time, I highly recommend skipping forward. And yeah, but if you don't mind and you have nothing to do, then feel free to stick around, lean back, get a snack, and watch me fail miserably. I repeated this step multiple times, but in the end I just didn't like how it turned out, so I took it off. Like I said before, I wasn't happy, so here I am removing what I just did and hoping to start fresh. After removing what I had just done with the makeup wipe, I dried the area down with a tissue and then literally took the glue stick to my eyebrows and glued down my brows. This is the part where I messed up. I should have just left it alone after I applied the glue instead of trying to flatten it even more with this old mascara wand. My tip is that if you do try to recreate this look and using the method I'm using by gluing down your eyebrows, I highly just suggest using the glue stick as is on your eyebrows, and just wherever they are, just leave it be. Like, don't try to move them with like a spoolie, because it starts to get chunky and it's not smooth. Now all I'm doing is setting that glue with translucent powder, brushing off the excess, and then applying some foundation over my eyebrow. Since I didn't get that much coverage from the foundation, I went ahead and I applied a fuller coverage concealer in hopes to further conceal my eyebrow. Next, all I'm doing is applying translucent powder over my eyebrow and then repeating the step of concealer and translucent powder until I'm happy with the coverage. To create my brow shape, I'm using a mixture of MAC's Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the color Spiked, as well as the shadow Cypress Umber from the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. Now that I have the shape I want, I am taking my concealer and I'm cleaning up the edges. Okay, so after a very long time, my mic is on, thank God, I finally achieved the brow shape for the fox eye, but I don't know if you can tell from this distance. If I zoom you guys in, I really don't want to recreate this on this side because that took so much work, but I'm gonna do it for you. And am I gonna cry in the process? Probably. So please enjoy my pain. Alright, so the way I got this, let me tell you first off, if you don't naturally already have your brows out like that, this is hard for you. So for me, I have to use a glue stick. So I am literally going to glue my eyebrow hairs up. Wish me luck. So apparently I didn't learn anything from when I did the other eyebrow, but please, if you do this, remove any product you have on your brow, because in order for the glue to stick to your skin, you need to have nothing there. So with that being said, I played myself and I had to start over. So I wiped off all the product from my eyebrow here, and then now I'm gonna glue it down. So here we go. After applying the glue, I just used my finger to smooth out any of the bumps and to get rid of the excess glue. Then I took my translucent powder and I just set my eyebrow. And yes, I did put too much here. Now I'm just using my concealer to cover up my eyebrow and then blended it out. Since I wasn't happy with the coverage, I took more concealer and then blended that out as well. Next, I took some translucent powder and set my eyebrow. Using a dry beauty blender, I applied foundation on my eyebrow and then started blending it out. To further blend out my foundation, I used my foundation brush. Lastly, I set that all in place with translucent powder. Now all I'm doing is creating the shape of my eyebrow, and I'm just using the same products as before, which were the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the color Spiked and the Anastasia shadow in the color Cypress Umber. I went back and forth with each product until I achieved the look I wanted, and until I matched the other eyebrow. Now that I have the shape I want, I am taking my concealer and I'm cleaning up the edges.
A few moments later.
So my base is on and I did my lips, and you can already tell how lifted my face looks. Like, damn, oh, is this even centered? I don't know if I'm actually centered. But now we're gonna move on to the eyes. And for the eyes, I'm just gonna use the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, this one, and also the MAC Shape and Shadow Brow Tint pen thing in Spiked. So first, we want a really cat eye kind of look. I actually think I'm gonna use the Urban Decay X Kristen Leanne palette, this one, and I'm gonna use this shade here. So it looks kind of like a bronzer shade. Then I'm just gonna slowly build. With a smaller, more focused brush. I think I'm gonna use the Morphe M506, so 506. I don't know why I say 506. I'm gonna go on with Rustic now from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the Soft Glam. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing. Okay, now I'm gonna use an even more pointed brush. I'm gonna use the, Mikasa E310 brush. And I'm gonna start making a little wing using Cypress Umber from the same palette as before. And I'm just really gonna focus it on the outer lash line and like outer V area. And then to really help me get more of a line, I'm gonna go in with just an angled brush. And then wiping off the brush we used before for this dark shade, like Cypress Umber, I'm just gonna blend this out. And then now I'm gonna take the same angled brush and really line my eye. You want to focus it all more so on the edge. And then I'm going to take the same really pointed brush and just apply a little eyeshadow right here. And I'm going to take the shade Rustic mixed with Cypress Umber from the Soft Glam palette and just place it right here, connecting the lines. And then now for my inner corner, I'm going to use the MAC Spiked brow pen. The longer you do it, the more elongated it's gonna look. So I have pretty round eyes, so I want more of an almond shape. So I'm gonna go pretty in. Just like that. See, now it's more cat-like. Now I'm just gonna repeat what I did here on this eye, and then I will be right back again. Okay, so I finished the eyes. Here, let me come closer so you guys can see. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my lashes. I'm just curling my lashes and then applying mascara, mainly focusing on the outer corners. Next, all I'm doing is applying my false eyelashes, and what I did here was I cut an old pair of eyelashes in half and I'm only using the outer corner, and with this I'm just applying it like normal, but on the outer corner you don't want to go directly to your lash line, you want to go slightly above it. This way it helps create more of that fox eye look. Once I got my lashes in place, I used the same pen I used for my inner corner and created a very thin line from the inner corner to my lashes to further blend them. Lastly, all I'm doing is applying bottom mascara, and that's it! There we have it. This is my attempt at the fox eye trend. Definitely learned a lot. For example, don't do your foundation first, glue your eyebrows down first if you don't already have that shape. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my attempt at the fox eye trend. It was definitely a lot harder than I thought, or I just probably made it harder for myself. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you next time.